Cause it's time to move on now.
3, 2, 1. Everybody, welcome to Murder Moose.
Murder Moose
of the Slashing Cast Podcast Network.
I didn't even hear that.
I know you did.
I'm so obnoxious. I know this, okay? But I love you.
I love you too, buddy. I was letting you do your Josh thing, man. That's all it was. I was like, I know what the Josh thing is and where it's going. So I was like, I'm gonna let him do his thing. Go do, hang out and yeah. And I'm Rod, and this beautiful motherfucker, and I mean beautiful motherfucker right here is Josh.
This guy.
Josh.
This
no,
guy.
No, that's
I know it. I know which way to point now. To do the right way, but it's the left way.
No, I always forget it's backwards. And man, we're doing episode 97. We're getting close to 100, Josh. And we're just getting our images of updated logo, and I'm loving it.
Yay! I'm so excited.
Jen does more awesome work, and I fucking love it. So it's really cool. Yeah, I think we were talking about the two variations of it, and maybe we do the t-shirts. Like we do t-shirts to the one because it's like already blank, and it makes it easier to go out and put on like merch or some shit, which we really haven't never done, even though I was going to at some point and then never have. But yeah, but
I'm into it.
How the fuck are you, you beautiful bastard? How are you?
Hey, man. Nothing's going to get me down. Yesterday was like one of the craziest, stupidest, worst days of my life. And it doesn't even matter because like it doesn't even feel like real life. And whatever, I'm here. I'm going to continue to live and be happy regardless, man. Yeah.
Don't worry.
I saw the devil yesterday. Like legitimately, I saw the devil. Like the movie was really good. But when you see the devil in the flesh, it is not really good. But hey, whatever.
The devil wasn't the chick from Game of Thrones, was it? Because
no.
the chick from Game of Thrones was the devil on the Sandman, which is my new current obsession.
Everyone's talking about this show. Is it like a Netflix show or? Like...
It's on Netflix. Yeah, I don't know when it popped up. I think Friday. I was sitting there this weekend. I put Netflix on, and I'm like, the Sandman's out. I didn't know.
Yeah, I heard about it like 3 separate times today, randomly, from 3 different people. That's crazy.
It's pretty wonderful, and it's got Patton Oswalt as a Raven, and.
Oh, dude, I went to a secret screener a couple weeks ago for like a thank you to everyone that came and helped out, like all the volunteers and people that worked on with Calgary Underground Film Festival.
Yeah.
So there was like, they don't tell you what you're going to see. They do that at Cuff all the time. It's like secret screener. Also, you don't get to know what you're seeing. Just come and watch it. I think it adds to it because then you don't even know, like you're going to watch a movie regardless, but they also gave us free popcorn, free drinks. And it was Patton Oswalt's new movie, I Love My Dad or something. It's like this. Yeah. It's like this like comedy movie that was really fucking well done. And he like wrote it and I think maybe directed it as well and starred in it. And it was fucking awesome. And
that sounds dope. Yeah. I mean, Patton, that man it's like he's one of those guys who's just does whatever he does is usually pretty fucking dope, man. Like he's doing Marvel stuff now, and like
he's awesome.
Yeah, he's doing. I mean, the Sandman's DC, right? So it's like he's doing DC stuff and Marvel stuff. He's all over the place, but he's always a voice. He's never like Patton Oswalt in it, right? Because he played the dwarf or whatever he was in the Eternals at the post-credit scene. He was in that, but yeah. Well, dude, Josh, the strength of the warrior. It's a reoccurring theme this week because we're talking about prey here in a little bit, and that's you have that strength, Josh. You have that
feel
strength
it, man.
of the warrior.
I don't know. Like this last year has been, I've been able to say this like several times to some people that have just like they're like there's it seriously feels like I'm living in like the twilight zone how ridiculous my life is, but
Yeah,
I'm super resilient and I just have had the ability to just keep moving on, and
yeah,
it's I don't know, it's refreshing. It's been a very transformative year for me,
yeah,
and I don't know, I feel fucking good regardless, man. So
yeah. Dude, I'm proud of you because that's the shit, man. When you've gone through a bunch of shit and you just keep like you put your head down and you just keep working, man. You keep going forward and it's paid off, man. You've gotten to do some really fucking cool shit. You like out here doing like all these posters for these really cool projects, man. You got to do a poster that was at fucking Comic Con. You got to do all this shit. And it's just like, man, killing it and coming out here and you're doing this shit with me and having a
a lot of
blast every week.
indies and stuff are reaching out now, which is like my world anyways, and like yeah, it's really cool. I'm working on a project right now for a YouTuber that I've just like watched for like 10 years, and they
Yeah,
reached out to me, which is like, whoa, I didn't even know you knew I existed. That's really cool. I like that,
yeah,
you know?
yeah. That's dope, man. Um, I had one of my mods and friends from the community, like she mods for me, flew out on Thursday and
Oh, nice.
to visit me and Classy Katie, Zeke's lady, and we hung out and we went out Friday.
Classy.
Classy. We went and hung out at the Stanley Hotel,
Oh,
aka
no. No
the
way.
Overlook.
Really?
And
I guess that is in
yeah,
Colorado.
yep, it's up in Estes
Have you ever been
Park.
there?
I've been there one other time a couple years ago. I still didn't do the like I didn't do the whole like tour, but we went they have like the world's like smallest maze like made of these like little just, like trees. It's like literally like 3 feet tall the whole time and you're just like going
Aw,
around and then like at like the center of it is like a picture of the guy who made it. But
that's
yeah,
cool
it's
though.
they fucking ham it up, man. They got like seances and shit that you could go see and like do all that stuff and ghost tours and stuff. But the hotel's beautiful, like old
Nice.
hand like wood, like just hand carved everywhere. It's a cool scene and like you're up in the mountains, so it's like
Can you actually
it's a
stay there?
yeah. I don't think it costs very much either. It's not like
Because it's
overly
haunted and
expensive.
stuff.
I mean, that's the shit I would want to do, man. That's why like that's the kind of stuff you're like, yes. And you go hang out in the haunted place. I don't
Well,
know.
yeah. Haunted tours, right?
That's the kind of stuff that you go, this is dope, and then like you see something, and then you're like, fuck this. Like there's this YouTuber, Twitch streamer. His name is Daytune, and he's been going off and doing like he built this really elaborate rig to stream from like, and he goes in like to haunted places and streams with like
I
other
love
streamers.
those, like, because the more people that do that IRL streaming, the more the
Yeah,
technology is like catching up to it, and they're like showing each other like how to make their rigs work better and like be more
yeah,
efficient and cheaper, and it's
yeah.
awesome, man. I watch a few
It's
IRL streamers, and it's just like
yeah.
there's I don't know, man. Like they're just going out and hanging out, but because they're in either public spaces or whatever, you can just film. It's a public space, and it's kind of
Yeah.
weird to see, but it's cool, man. I like it.
It's almost like you're almost like doing found footage film, like filmmaking, but like
Totally.
with real life, right? You're just going out and doing that same kind of thing. You're doing and if you get crazy shit, like there's some clips from that Daytune guy, like who went out and did like you saw him like shit closing on him when there was
Yeah.
no like a refrigerator closing on him, and you're like, what the fuck? I'll have to look it up later and send it to you, but it was pretty bonkers, but. It's cool shit, man, and it's stuff that you go, damn. It's like it's interesting at least, right? It's like regardless if you unless you're a giant skeptic, if you're like fuck this, I don't believe in any of this, then you might not.
No.
But
Oh wait.
who the no Jerry's not here this week.
I'm just kidding.
No,
I
not
got to
this
do
week.
it every week.
It's like Jerry's the spiritual third member of Murder Moose. It's like him and KPP, like the
Well,
third
she
members.
said she's got some time coming up pretty soon, so it will be her first time on in where is it? This one? No, yeah, there it is. That one.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yep. And then we're gonna talk about
Jesus.
the
My
God damn it,
editing
John.
skills are
I
amazing,
know you're
guys.
learning them. You're learning them as you go, man. You're learning as you go. Yeah. So there's a lot though. But Josh, I think what else? I don't know if I've The Sandman was most of my watching over the last weekend. Obviously Prey. And I don't know, man. It
I
was
saw the Brad Pitt movie in IMAX, and to be honest, like you go in knowing it's going to be like this. These are the things I said about it with Ben right before we went and saw it. I was like, this is going to be really dumb, really
yeah,
stupid funny, and then with some like fun action. And it was all those things. And if you expect any more, you're fucking
yeah,
dumb and don't. The fact that it has 56%, but like it's fun to be honest. Like
yeah,
there's enough cameos, like and funny ass cameos too. Cause like
yeah.
this and that Sandra Bullock movie where she's with Channing Tatum in the like
The
romance
Lost
novel book.
City.
Yeah, Lost
Yeah.
City. I'm pretty sure they're being filmed and made at the same time because almost the entire cast from that movie cameos in this movie and vice versa, right? So it's
No.
they must just like be all best friends or whatever. And like,
Because Brad Pitt was in that too, right? Like, but he
yeah,
was like the third lead or whatever in that one.
mm,
I don't know. He's
watch
in the
it.
trailer or whatever. Yeah, the wife wanted to watch it, so we're gonna
It's
probably
really
watch it
funny,
this.
actually. Like
Yeah,
it's worth the time invested because that movie is the exact same. It's dumb, and it's just like it's that bigger budget kind of you know popcorn movie that doesn't get made as much anymore because
yeah,
it's all about return on investment, and it's harder to get that return nowadays. So they don't
yeah.
make those types of movies anymore. But it's fun
And-
to see these ones still being made. It's from the people that did Kill Bill movies, so it has that extreme bloody violence and humor,
yeah.
and then stopping in the middle of stuff and like breaking fourth wall shit and humor, and it really reminded me of old Guy Ritchie films, to be honest, where
Yeah,
they're like Snatched or that type of stuff, and
yeah.
yeah, like where there's just a whole bunch of thugs, but it's really stylized and funny at the same time.
And Brad Pitt, man, that man is like he's got charisma for days, right? He's
Oh,
just got
totally.
one of the most charismatic motherfuckers in the world. Like he
But he
probably
plays the
outacted.
stumbly guy in this, and he
Yeah,
always plays that really well. Like
yeah.
but I'm just kind of and like it just works, right?
It's like he's playing a dweeb, but he still looks like Brad Pitt. It's like
Exactly.
it's Brad Pitt, but yeah,
It's because he's getting older, I think, though. So he doesn't want to be like, oh, I'm the like sex symbol. It's the unassuming sex symbol now.
yeah. Well, dude, he's still fucking a good looking dude for
Oh
like
yeah,
a
his
guy in a like,
jawline didn't change, so
yeah.
it still goes on for
He's in
days.
he's probably be in his late 50s at this point, right? Like he's not a young
It's a fun movie, man.
yeah. That's on my list. With Vissy was being here all last weekend. We didn't have a lot of extra time, but may go and try to see it this weekend if I have the time. I don't know, but yeah, I want to see it because it looks like tons of fucking fun. So,
Well, and then we keep getting stuff like this, and I think there's more coming out soon. Like Bodies, 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 I think comes out this week as well. I'm not sure if it's just going to be in theaters or if it's doing the dual thing. Because I heard it might be on streaming really soon too, but that's A24, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, and that They Them came out, and I've not heard much good about that one. Which
It just seems like tone deaf.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like from when I was watching some review of it, and it sounded like they were trying to make good points, and but didn't go far enough to make those good points. And whenever the movie is a slasher, which it is for like the beginning and like the third act, the slashing and shit is not done very well, which is like,
come on.
Yeah. So you sit there and go, and I hear Kevin Bacon's good in it though. So I don't know. It's just like, man, if you're gonna go and do that stuff and make try to make those messages, if you like hold back, you shoot yourself in the dick. You shoot yourself right in the penis. I've been playing Max Payne all night, so I've been talking about shooting people in the penis, but or Max Payne 3, but yeah, so
Yeah, but
okay.
I'm happy that we're getting, and I think I said this last week where Prey is kind of it's a new property. It's owned by a conglomerate that
Yeah.
doesn't know what to do with R-rated films, so they're not
Yeah.
going to do the regular. It's Disney, like they're like
Yeah.
R-rated. What? So this is like almost their test to
Yep.
see what can happen with the properties that they own that are like 20th Century Fox, and it's cool to see it given to someone as competent as Dan Trachtenberg. I've already
Yep.
gushed about him and told the story of why I love him so much, but you saw my like one or two of the iterations of my Prey poster. It
Yeah.
started off like this. It had some other looks to it, but I ended up just going with this and making it a little more understated and less. Because, like, to be honest, I made the poster before the movie was out, so there wasn't as much like stills or shots of the actual Predator itself before it came out because it was kind of spoilery. But now it's all over the place because everyone watched it, everyone loved it. It's getting rave reviews as it should. And I was just out for lunch with my buddies today, and my buddy Matt was saying, "Yeah, like it was. I knew it was filmed close to me, but it was filmed so close, like it was in his mountain bike trail that he goes to every week." And he's like, "I saw them filming it at least twice a week, and saw the whole fucking process. It was nuts to watch, man."
Yep. Okay, I'm gonna read a synopsis and we're gonna get into it. We're not gonna spoil shit until we give a warning, and I actually think that there's like not that much spoilery stuff that I really want to dive into, but yeah, we're going to talk about it. Yeah, and we're talking about Prey from 2022. And it reads as the synopsis reads as the origin of the predator in the world of the Comanche Nation 300 years ago. Naru, a skilled female warrior. Okay, I don't know why skilled is fucking in quotations here, but it is. Fights to protect her tribe against one of the first highly evolved predators to land on Earth.
Because
Okay.
that's the whole narrative of the movie. She's up
Yeah.
against it. It's 300 years ago. It's that storyline. And you know what? And why this movie is so good. It's because it fits right in our timeline. It's an hour and 39 minutes, but it's a small story only like with characters we don't know, and it's introducing it in a way that keeps it in the small world, small story thing where it's high concept done like a small movie. And that's what Dan Trachtenberg does and has proven he does so well. Like 10 Cloverfield Lane was that same. You take this massive world, but you give it a small story, and he knocks it out of the park. And he did it again with this. It's a small story. It's only what it needs to be and nothing more. And that's why it's just I didn't watch. Apparently, there's an end credit scene, and I gotta go watch that because I didn't.
I didn't know that either. I did not know that. Okay, I want to say there was one small negative about this film, and I want to get it out of the way real quick. The CG animals looked
Oh yeah,
like
the bear
horses.
was terrible.
Yeah,
fucking terrible.
The wolf, like when it was like whatever, and then like that was the only thing, and that was the only thing that kind of showed that this was a smaller budget film too. Like the outside of the Predators like camouflage, this film knew its limits, and I think that they may have like gotten in over the head with a bear and the bear specifically, but man, everything else, and I can live with that. It's not a huge deal, but like I just want to point it out to say we're not like completely, blowing this film without any whatever. But yeah, Trachtenberg, man, it's amazing how little this man has directed and how well he directed this film, because it's like you go look at his IMDb. He's got 9 directing
It's all
credits.
gold what he's directed though. Like he did the pilot for The Boys, 10 Cloverfield. It's all started with the short he did for Portal. Like that's what really put him on the map for Hollywood.
Yeah, I mean, most of his stuff is TV episodes. Like he's only done.
He did like Black Mirror stuff.
He did. This is his second movie.
Yeah, 10 Cloverfield Lane was his only other like full length feature.
dude. And it's, I mean, we all know, I mean, maybe we know all know, but Black Mirror is such a high quality show. I never watched the last season, to be honest, but like enjoyed the hell out of everything, including the Choose Your Own Adventure one, which was pretty
Oh
entertaining.
yeah, dude.
Um,
But Dan
but
Trachtenberg also had his start in commercials. Like before, when
yeah,
he was on Totally Rad Show and stuff, he would let us see what he was working on, and I was like,
yeah,
"What? You directed that? Like, holy
yeah,
shit, that looks so good, man! Like, what
yeah,
the fuck? I didn't know you
yeah,
did that." And then all of a sudden, he like disappeared for a while, and then Portal came out, and like the world fucking lost their minds because it was just like this such high quality like short film that no one knew was even being made on a property
yeah.
that everyone loves, but it was actually done perfect like for the fans and everything. So yeah,
I don't think I've ever seen that. I might have seen clips or something from it, but I need to go track it down. Is it like on YouTube or something like that? I
oh yeah,
assume if it's a
totally,
short,
yeah,
I need to check it out. And this whole film is shot beautifully, man. Like he
oh
takes
yeah.
such great advantage of the wilderness and shooting that, like,
That's my backyard. Like that's what I
yeah,
see. Like if I go up the hill from my house, like I see those mountains right there and stuff, right?
yeah, yep. And it is, I mean, it's, you said it, he doesn't, there's nothing in this film that feels unnecessary, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
very, you said small story, and that's such a good way to talk about it, because it is so easy for directors to go off and do like fluff material, right? Like shit that really doesn't need to be there, but like is there
It,
regardless.
it almost
And
felt like, when you go back to watch 10 Cloverfield Lane, it didn't need to be in Cloverfield's world, but it worked because the movie that it was so
yeah,
good that
yeah,
J.J. Abrams was like, you know what, this will and can live in my world if you just kind of do this, which didn't feel like his movie at the end when it became
yeah,
Cloverfield, but it did add like a holy shit moment, which was cool for Cloverfield. But then what they did with the other movie on Netflix, where they all of a sudden injected Cloverfield into it to make more people watch it, it felt so dumb that they did that, and it
I
really
never,
fucked
yeah,
up the brand. I feel, because I really enjoy Cloverfield as a
yeah.
brand, and if they're just gonna like inject it into movies that aren't gonna have an audience just to give them an audience, it's kind of like fucking backseat shit.
We call that the Hellraiser, where they take a script
Yes.
and they're like, yeah. You know what's funny about 10 Cloverfield Lane though? You could have ended that movie and it wasn't Cloverfield, right? You could have
Oh,
like
100%.
fucking
Yeah.
ended that movie and it was just like nothing, like everything was completely normal, and
Yep.
like that Aykroyd is or not Aykroyd, Dan
Good. John. Wait. What?
Goodman.
Goodman. Yeah.
I don't know.
Wait.
Goodman, that's
What?
a, yeah, John
Yeah.
Goodman. Why did I think
John
Dan?
Goodman.
Was he Dan on
Yeah, on Roseanne.
Roseanne? Yeah,
Yes. Yes.
that's why I'm thinking Dan. But that you could have done that and it would have been like another one of those movies where like, oh, like, but it would have been great, right? It would have been one of those endings where you're like, oh, okay, this is like, this guy was
He's just
fucking
crazy.
completely psychotic, yeah, and he
Yeah.
was crazy regardless, but like he would have been even crazier at that point. Um, and yeah, in that movie, it's such a that movie's like a psychological thriller where it's like you're sitting there going, you're trying to figure out the whole time what is the truth and what is not, what is bullshit, what is this guy telling you, what is Goodman telling you. And Goodman, that motherfucker is gold, man.
He acted so well in that movie. Holy shit.
Yeah, it's funny, man. Like I have this thing where him, like, I think of Oh Brother Where Art Thou with him, and I don't even think I've ever seen that whole movie, but like seen enough of his stuff in it where he was the Cyclops, right? And that, and like, and
Oh,
it's just
brother?
like,
Oh, yeah. But that's
yeah,
that's also like Coen Brothers directed that, and like, you get
yeah,
directed you get people that know how to make films that well making
yeah,
films. They're going to be good regardless, right? So,
yeah. I mean, Fargo will always be one of my favorite. Like watching William H. Macy spiral out of control because that motherfucker
but
is the most. unlucky motherfucker in the world, and
I
it's
just I know Dan Trachtenberg is going to be a massive director. Like I'm so proud to have seen where it started and watch his career so far, and I can't wait to see what he gets to do next, because when you're putting it in his hands, it's in good hands. Like
yeah, dude.
he understands what needs to be done, and it's all like, to know this was all filmed in my backyard too is like, I'm always, it's a weird like sense of, I'm gonna watch it regardless because I know some people that were on, worked on the movie
Yeah.
and stuff, because it's like right here. But I don't know, it's so cool to see really
Dude.
awesome shit filmed close to your house.
And he does like everything that he could have. Like there were a lot of potential stumbling blocks going in doing what he was doing, right? He used as much like he used all the native actors he could get, right? Like as the
And
Comanche.
Naru, the lead, is so
Yeah.
hot. Oh my god.
Dude, my wife said she's on the new the reboot of Roswell, and she liked so that's been going on for a while now. My wife's like, they got another season. They canceled the original before the fucking bullshit. But yeah, dude, Amber Mid Thunder is her name, and she fucking kills it, man.
It. Yeah,
She kills it, and
it's
it's
on her shoulders, and she fucking is up to the task.
dude, that and her brother. Her brother is fucking badass in this film too. Dakota Beavers isn't Tobby. Tobby, I think is how you say his
But
name.
to like have a dog be that solid, like best dog performance I've seen. Like seriously though, like it is such a good animal performance. Like you just wow.
That dog, because like most of the film, like it's her and the dog, like it's just those two. It's kind of got that like I Am Legend kind of thing, right? Where a lot of the film, you're just relying on the main character and this dog, and both of them do really, really well. Like in that, like it's that thing where you're having a situation where you have this warrior who she wants to prove herself to her tribe, and her tribe is, I mean, let's be real, the warriors in it are kind of sexist. Like they're like, oh, you can't do this because you're a woman. And the way she is so determined to fight and prove for herself that she can do this, and she does, man. She proves it, and
it says it's 300 years ago, but these issues are still happening, right? So
oh yeah, it's amazing, dude. Like I'm sorry. I said this before, and Josh and I were started recording. I'm gonna fucking dick kick so many fucking people. So I want to say that if you're one of those dumb motherfuckers out there, because there are plenty of you who go out and go, yeah, you could have a female warrior defeat a predator. You're so missing the point of these films. You're missing the point of these films to a point that is amazingly you're being smacked in the face of the point, and you're going, I don't see the point, and the point is literally hitting you in the face. The point. Let's go talk about Predator. Let's talk about Predator. The point of Predator.
The point is, get your dick out of your hand and stop being sexist.
Yeah, well, and it's the point of Predator is you have these macho dudes who go in to clean up this whatever they're going in to rescue people or whatever, and in the mid 80s, and there's this jungle with all these cartels, and guess what, these 6 macho dudes or whatever, how many guys are with all the machine guns, all the strength. It's like Jesse Ventura and Arnold Schwarzenegger and everyone else who's in that film, like Shane Black, all these guys, and they're all like as masculine as you get, like Tyrannosaurus, fucking whatever Jesse Ventura says in that. And guess what happens to them? They're all super masculine. They all have super machine guns. They all have, explosives and grenades and all this. And guess what happens to them? They all get fucking slaughtered. They all get fucking slaughtered. And guess what happens? Arnold is the only one who put pieces it together. Him and the woman survives the Predator too, right? And or I don't remember. It's been a while since I've seen Predator, but the only reason he survives is because he figures out that going like head to head with this fucking thing, being macho, being like, oh, I'm gonna take you out, and like macho 80s everything is going to get you killed. And so you have to
Be
use your
smart.
smart. Yeah, be smart, be intelligent. Figure out that
Like the lead of this one. She
Yeah,
wasn't a threat
exactly.
and she saw it, but it's almost like Nope too. Like their predator thing, you notice
Yeah,
that you shouldn't look it in the eye because then it thinks it's like or that's how it gets you type thing. So you don't look it in
yeah,
the eye.
yeah,
It's pretty much the same thing with this.
yeah. It's a thing where it goes. What really matters when you coming up against this thing is your brain, not your fucking muscles, not your how big your balls are, cock and balls are. And there are so many stupid people out there going, "Oh, she couldn't ever." Shut up! You're fucking stupid, and you're missing the goddamn point of this film. The point of this film is
She is
that what
badass.
matters is fucking
Accept it.
brain in your heart.
Accept it. She's
Yeah, it's
badass.
your brain in your heart. Yeah, dude, and she's so bad. And if you ever shit on her or shit on this movie for whatever you're fucking stupid and you're sexist. You're sexist as shit. You're fucking idiotic, and you need to get your shit straight because you're not looking at the world in a way that in the fucking year 2022 makes any more fucking sense. You fucking idiot. So shut the fuck up. Go read a fucking book and figure out that you're a moron. And the Comanche women were badass motherfuckers, man. All the Comanche were badass. And look at this. And you see that in this movie. And
Hell yeah.
what happens? All the fucking Comanche warriors, besides her, they don't, you know, they don't survive like she does. They don't like do what she does because she uses her brain. They don't like, it's so dumb, man. Because like, that there's that same that it's a recurring theme in this thing in the movie too during Prey, right? It's she is they don't want her tracking. They think her brother gets her to come along because she does medicine, right? Because there's a warrior
Yes.
who gets taken out with his
She
by
knows
a
the
mountain lion.
flowers to eat.
Yeah. Yeah, and the flowers end up being a big old plot of this part of the like the third act, right? Which was I don't think I realized put two and two together fast enough, which was my bad. But like, um, it's the movie is so incredibly well done because it's incredibly like in a world where you have giant 8 foot tall uh, hunters from another planet coming to sport hunt us. It is like
But
it's believable.
it has really good fucking action scenes though too. Like
Yeah.
if get like Rod just said, that whole rant is perfect. Get over yourself because it is beautiful in the way it's like actually shot as well. And there's so many good action scenes, death scenes, everything that you want to see in your R-rated like Predator style movie. It it does it all without it pandering to it, like or it being like the need for weaponized nostalgia. It's part of the Predator franchise without it even using the word Predator in the title of the movie. It doesn't need to because it's a story driven movie about prey, which it is though, and it's all classy, and that's where Dan Trachtenberg I think understands it on such a higher level than most people. And the test was successful. Disney is going to go in this direction like crazy now. I'm sure we'll probably see prequel shits to Alien in this realm like this now. I swear to God, it's going to be.
I mean,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean they have to because Alien is in a fucked up world too, right? Alien has been like the same thing. Fox was shooting itself in the dick over and over and over again for the last 15 years, man. Like it's been like what they did with those X-Men movies, like not once but twice.
Why aren't we going to get that Neil Blomkamp one, man? Like he had Sigourney Weaver on board. Neil Blomkamp is made awesome fucking
No, no,
alien
no.
movies.
He's made one.
Shut up, man.
Awesome.
No, I love Chappie. It was fucking great, and
I
it's still
I didn't make
sci-fi.
it. I didn't make it all the way through that one. And Elysium was terrible.
Elysium
Elysium,
was
even
terrible,
with Matt Damon, was like, I don't know.
but the
I
way
don't.
that Hollywood just kicks him out is kind of fucked up. Like, oh, you
I
make
don't. I
he's
mean,
making District 10 now, apparently.
is he?
So, yeah,
Well, I hope that does better, man. Because District 9 is like a all-time great science fiction movie. Like
unbelievable.
he kind of reminds me of like M. Night Shyamalan with like sci-fi. I mean,
No.
you say no, but like you prove me wrong because he
Have you watched
goes
any of
from
his things on YouTube? Because like
no.
he made his own production house, and then he started funding like really expensive looking shorts that went straight to fucking YouTube and shit. And they're fucking mental, dude.
No, I haven't. I need to check him out.
Because they're like a
Um,
lot of them are like horror esque as well. So it's like sci-fi horror.
I I think that the my biggest problem with him in general was that like his script writing after District 9 wasn't as good, right? Like
Yeah.
like the part I watched maybe half to two-thirds of Chappie, and like the Dire Antwood was really what threw me off because those
I
two like
loved that, man, because it was like it's going against the grain on purpose. And if
but that was
you
that was them being them. That's the thing, right? Like
but I know, but like for that type of movie and the fact that he was allowed to make that decision, I thought was really cool that it actually got made because he was writing the script and listening to them and all their
yeah,
albums like while he was writing the script. So it was like influencing the script so much that he's like, they have to be the people, and they were. So I thought that was like just like
yeah,
as an artist and a musician, and I
yeah,
know like music has this ability to really change the way some of my art looks as well.
yeah.
And the fact that it was that influential that they were a part of it, I don't know, man. Like I just it's
I'll
respect.
I'll have to give Chappie another try because I mean I obviously respect the shit out of your opinion with it, but yeah. Yeah, no. So this movie, like, it sets up Prey sets up all this other possibilities, right? Like I heard more than once, and I saw people making like artwork of it. Like they want a feudal Japan Predator movie. Like, like that would be fucking dope. You could do it real easily. And it's
Yes.
like it's a very much like you take a movie, a genre movie, like you go, like this was about Comanche warriors. You go a samurai doing this, and you put the predator. You could insert a
Totally.
predator in a lot. You could fuck. You could do like in space, like you could do a predator in space thing because the predator is already in space. But like it just has a lot of easy potential. I'm curious on what this does because I think they're developing an Alien prequel TV show. Is
I
the
heard
last I
I
heard
don't
about
know.
that?
Like we have like weird things where like Army of Darkness is apparently potentially getting like a cartoon animated series. So like all these
Yeah.
properties that like this. But again, like I said, this one because they gave it a smaller budget and a competent filmmaker, it just goes to show there's a lot of other filmmakers out there that are willing to work for these smaller budgets to still kind of prove themselves. And
Yeah.
these types of directors are going to start getting those massive things. Like Taika Waititi was one of them, but now
Yeah.
he's risen above, and now he's one of those like A-list directors where
Yeah.
Dan Trachtenberg is next in line, dude.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I can see him getting a Marvel movie in the next, 5 to 10 years for sure. Like
Hmm.
they need enough new filmmakers to do these things, and like once you've proven you like, especially because you've proven it to Disney, right? Like
Disney,
this,
yeah.
yeah, and a fucking franchise that is, let's be, let's be real. I mean, almost every try of Predator lately have been pretty fucking terrible. Like
Yep.
the Predator, I was having a discussion with someone about it on Twitter the other day, is garbage. Like it's still not my least favorite Predator movie because that will always be Alien versus Predator Requiem because it is literally the worst lit movie I've ever seen in my entire life, and it's not even
Oh
close.
yeah, I
And then like
know, dude.
it's that and like even like Predators I had fun with, but it's it's like all that stuff is just like you have all these things with such a cool character and nothing has ever come close till now. This movie I saw people saying that this is a their favorite Predator movie. And I you can tell me this is you like this better than the original. I'm going to give you a thumbs up and I don't think it was right there with me, but the Predator has that like
It's
nostalgic.
nostalgia.
It's my childhood, like
But
in movie form.
but that's where like movies and fucking franchises like Jurassic World have to die, go
Yep.
extinct because they are funding it in the wrong way with the wrong people involved, throwing too much money at it and weaponizing nostalgia like never before, and it is disgusting to watch. It is a shell of a movie, whereas this goes against the grain
Well,
and gives you something original where it's not even original, and
and they
it's
don't.
refreshing.
And it also shows you because we keep talking about these like mid-budget horror movies, and this is action horror, so there's like kind of a different stage,
It's
but
just
like
action thriller. That's what it says
yeah.
on the like, which is totally.
But I mean, you're cutting people apart, which is always kind of horror-y, but like I don't know, the Predator is a horror character in my mind, and it's one of those things
I
we go
agree.
like that's the thing, and that's why we wanted to talk about this. And I think that like again, when you have something being warrior being hunted, fucking scary, man. And there's a lot of really fucking tense scenes in this film, right?
Well,
And
there's that
and
movie coming out, Beast, really soon
yeah, with
too, and I
Idris
feel
Elba.
like that one with that like in the trailer, it makes it look fucking creepy, and like
Yeah,
those types of movies can really draw out the tension and stuff. And they did a really good job in this too of like the prey predator like
yeah,
situation, drawing out that tension and making it back into a horror movie cliche. It was needed because it's horrific what is happening.
yeah. They also do a really good job, and this is what I wonder again if budget things, but they do a good job of not just like overdoing the predator. Like he's kind of doesn't really show up to like halfway through the film. I mean, you see stuff,
You
and
got to
then
do the Jaws thing, man.
yeah, exactly. And I really like the Predator had a unique look to it. I really liked its mask.
Yeah.
Um, and it had like it looked different. Like, cause it seems like every time they make one of these movies, the Predators look different. And it's funny because one of my biggest problems, which is saying a lot with Alien versus Predator, is the masks look goofy to me. Like the Predator mask looked like
AVP was
kids.
fun though. Like it was
I,
stupid fun. And
I,
it's like Freddy versus Jason fun. Anyone that
yeah.
says Freddy versus Jason isn't a good movie doesn't understand.
Well, it's not a good movie, but it's a fun movie.
It's
It's
super fun, man. It's
yeah.
ridiculously fun. I love that
Dude,
movie.
dude, if they would have fixed like they spent all of their writing budget on that film on the Freddy and Jason stuff because the human characters in that film are
They're
all time
disposable.
slasher bad move. Like the main girl, the main guy are just like
They're
the one from
it's all
Destiny's Child.
so secondary just to get
Oh,
out of the way so they can have some
but,
battles.
but they take up 3/4 of the movie, like when the like setting up the fight, right? And it's like that movie is like if they would have just like it could have been like a really great like
I
horror
know
film.
you don't get
It's
those
still really
two
fun.
properties in one
Yeah,
movie and just do that to it, but it's still fucking
yeah.
fun.
It's fun. Yeah, that last fight scene is a blast every single time I watch it. A
And
blast
holding the
every
head and coming like I got a whole
yeah.
wall here devoted to Freddy and Jason in the
Yeah,
same part, and it's
yeah,
I
yeah,
where oh no, I took them down, but I have like these posters, one where Jason is holding Freddy's head and vice
yeah.
versa. So then there's one where Freddy's holding
I,
Jason's head.
I'm kind of sad they never got to do the Ash one, but they did turn that into a comic book series, which
Yes, I saw that.
I'll have to look that up at some point, but I never saw it. Um, yeah, so the practical effects on the Predator, man, they had a guy called Dan D. Ligro, and that motherfucker seems like he's a huge motherfucker, man. He's a big
Yes.
dude, and he did a really good job just being menacing with it. Like, and the 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 hand-to-hand combat, the weaponry, all this stuff. They did a really good job of like kind of depowering the Predator down for this film because I saw somebody say something like this, and I
Well, it's
totally agree.
old
It's
tech though, which is
yeah, it's like
awesome.
300. He has 300 years. You go if they would have given him the Predator tech from the original movie, it would have probably fucked up everyone more. I did
Well,
really like his
I like the net and like,
yeah,
there's callbacks to the
yeah,
original,
yeah.
but yeah.
The net and the arrows, which reminded me of Yandu. What was his name in the Guardians of the Galaxy movie? The
Right.
Yandu. That's what that reminded me of. But yeah, it's just this movie was like you had been talking like the whole time we've been doing this podcast about Trachtenberg and how much you love him, and this movie is really a coming out party. And dude, there's been a lot of really high, quality cinema for this type of like horror and action and like all these genre that aren't $200 million Marvel movies, right? Like that's what when you say blockbuster now, that people think Marvel movies, right? And as we see going into like the Warner Brothers canceling Batgirl because of fucking tax write-offs, you go, oh, okay,
That's just
but like,
you got to chalk that down to DC just fucking it up again. Like DC
yeah,
does not know what the fuck they're doing, and it just is being proven time and time again.
no, I actually I understand it with that because of the merger with Discovery buying Warner Brothers, that they had a limited time to basically write off like that entire movie. That's why they did it. Like,
It's not a movie; it's a series.
no, it was a movie. It's a $90 million film that was going to go straight to HBO Max, but now they get to write it off and get $90 million worth of tax credits. That's why they're doing that because of the merger. They have a limited time of taking anything that had been like not released, and if they don't release it, and it's probably why they're going to do the same thing to Blue Beetle. They're going to cancel that one too and do the same thing. They get $90 million in tax credits for that. That's why they're doing it.
But that means they can't just go and then release it. Then
Nope. Nope, never gonna release it. That's why we were talking about it last week. All the Kristen Stewart walking out of the Warner Brothers with the thing in her butt, like the thumb drive in
oh
the
my
butt with
god!
the movie. That's why, because literally this, unless someone leaks it in the next whatever amount of years, that's the only way that movie's ever coming out.
Wow.
Yeah, and Blue Beetle will do the exact same thing. So that's why they're doing it. What they're trying to do is
Whoa.
they're trying to like clear out the debt budgets that Warner Brothers has. That's why they canceled all the CW shows and they're doing one short season of Flash to wrap that up.
Well,
And so
that's
they're
the one that started it all. So, well,
no
not the
arrows.
Arrow, but the Arrow and the Flash were the two that like went back and forth a lot, and then made the other universes from there. So
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so that's all that. That's why they're doing it. So like I understand it fucking sucks. It like logically makes sense, but it sucks from like all these people. I don't want to see Brendan Fraser as a Firefly and everything. Yeah, so um, but yeah, I I also love. I need to go back and because I know Jerry. I talked to Jerry about it over the weekend. He said the Comanche version of the film is awesome too. I haven't watched the Comanche language version of it yet, but I'm interested in it. So that would be something else that
yeah, why didn't I didn't see that either? Yeah,
yeah, you could so the all the actors came back and recorded all the English dialogue exclusively in Comanche. So
that's really cool. I like that.
yeah, so they're like I wouldn't do I though I'm not sure with that because I haven't watched it yet. Do they not, how this movie doesn't have like there's some stuff they don't like, explain, right? Or like subtitle. They both with French and Comanche, right? So Didn't
Right.
they? I don't know. I don't know if they did anything. They did that weird. They go to English and all that stuff, but um, they just showed so much care for everything in this film. That's what like care is so like crucial to all this. Like it is. We talk about it all the time, but you can't do something like you love and like have some like people come in and like make decisions for you because of money, like producers and executives and all this shit. And they obviously just let Trachtenberg do what he wanted to do. They gave like, here's your money, you just do whatever you want in your
They're like,
playground.
we're
And
not
that,
coming up to fucking Calgary. Like, do what you want.
yeah, that's. I mean, and then we got Last of Us coming out here from Calgary, so here pretty soon.
My God,
But
the amount of stuff that thing has closed down in and around my house. Like, I have to go like 2 like communities over because I came and it was just completely closing down like main streets by my house. Like, you can just close down everything under a bridge? What the fuck is this? Like, how am I supposed to get home? Jesus.
they don't care about you getting home. They care about dollar bills, y'all.
Yeah,
Dollar
the amount of
bills.
police officers that were just like there with their
Yeah.
lights just on. Yeah, go around. Like, it's crazy.
Okay. Well, let's talk spoilers then. So I'll give you everyone warnings and whatnot. If you haven't seen, go watch it. It's on Hulu. Get Hulu free trial, whatever. It's fucking dope, man.
Here's the
I had
spoiler alarm.
spoiler fart alarm. Okay. First off, first thing I want to mention because I didn't want to say it without like spoilers. Well, during non-spoilers, yes, the dog lives. The number one important thing in this whole film is the dog lives through the entire film. And Danny fucks with you. He's like, he makes you think the dog died a couple of times and the dog survives. I think my favorite part of the dog is when the dog is like the bear and the predator is fighting.
100%.
And the bear is like, the dog's like, fuck this noise and just gets the fuck out. The dog is fucking smart as shit. He's like, I'm not dealing with that
I
CGI.
fucking
bear.
love that dog so much. There's that's why I got to bring up like as like a best supporting actor, like get a nomination for that dog because the dog fucking kills it.
The dog's awesome, man. And it's he gives so much character because it's like that dog and Naru are just like they're inseparable, man. They're like
And I gotta say the axe on the rope thing was so dope. When she figures that out and starts just messing everyone up with it is so fucking satisfying. It's such a cool thing.
Yeah. It reminded me of Scorpion from, Mortal Kombat. Also, the Mortal Kombat thing that this connects is fucking dope. Okay, listen to this here. I saw this and I thought it was fucking awesome. Her dad, Amber Mid-Thunder's dad, voiced Nighthawk's voice in Mortal Kombat 11. The Native American Mortal Kombat fighter, and the Predator was a DLC character in the game, so it like kind of rolls back around, which is fucking dope.
The guy who plays Raiden, I think, was in the new Bullet Train movie. So,
Christopher Lloyd or Christopher, what the fuck is his name?
Wait, no,
I don't know.
The Asian guy from Mortal Kombat. I forget.
It was Christopher.
He's like the older guy. Did he play Raiden? I don't fucking
remember. No, he didn't play Raiden, but Christopher whatever in the first 2 movies was the white dude, Christopher whatever.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't not the original one. Like, god damn it, man. There are so I look up Mortal Kombat on fucking on IMDb and it is a fucking disaster because there are all the
so many games, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like you sit there and you go, Mortal Kombat on IMDb, yeah, and it's like every single game is on there. Christopher Lambert, that's what it was, is Raiden in the original movies. But again, there are
Hiroke Sandy? What's his name? Yeah. He was in the Wolverine. He was Scorpion. What am I talking about? He was Scorpion in Mortal Kombat. Fucking hell.
I was gonna say there's a big difference between Raiden and
shut up.
Also, I want to talk about the fucking ending of this movie and how she fucking made a couple things. One, like I'm not completely sure. I think that like it's easy to miss where she puts together the predator can't see
He was
you
in
when you're
Ring
on
U. He's the guy that goes upside down and like with his mouth open.
Damn it, Josh. Pray. Come back to pray, Josh.
Shut up.
Come back. Come back to pray. Um
I
when
pray that you come back to pray.
oh fuck. uh so when she so the plot point that gets all her into the wilderness with her brother who's the warrior chief of their tribe and all the other warriors, um they go out and to find a warrior who gets taken by a mountain lion, and the fucking mountain lion chomps this motherfucker's leg off, and she gives him some herb to like help him like
Slow the
slow down
bleeding.
his, it slows down his heart, so like the heart's not pumping as much, so he doesn't bleed as much, and it saves his life. But um someone else takes it. She gives it to a guy, one of the French guys later on, who they get captured by the French fur traders, and the predator doesn't see the guy right away, and then until like
Until he like goes, oh,
yeah, and
getting stepped on.
gets himself like dropped to the shadow realm. He gets fucked up, and that like equates to
But
her figuring out.
But it shows how smart she is as a character too, though.
Yeah.
Like she's able to see and
Observe,
decipher what is actually happening and how she can, but her brother brings up the fact that she's smarter than everyone else too, with the way she was going to go after that bobcat and like doing the whole tree thing. He's the one that's like, no, you're fucking way smarter than everyone. You are someone to be like feared because you're smart.
Yep. Well, that's her brother kind of pisses me off because he's like, yeah, who killed the mountain lion? And then when she wanders off and like he goes to save her, and he knows he's gonna die. He's like, you know what? You fucked the mountain lion up, and I just kind of cleaned up. Yeah, it really wasn't me, but you can't do that as the warrior chief. And yeah, and that all gives her that idea where she figures out that this predator's main weapon, he shoots these like arrows. That's why I was like flying to like talking about Yandu, that he that the predator three dots are like three arrows that are going to wherever he's looking, and how she fucking uses that and lines it up in they combine
awesome.
so many. They just have all these sequences, and you kind of go, oh, this is kind of like, what is the point of this? And like the this quicksand or whatever the fuck it is, the mud that
almost takes her out.
Yeah.
She knows she can use that.
Yeah, and she does that and uses it, and when
it's all foreshadowing, though, which is amazing. But it's like it's all a payoff, which is but that's why this movie works so well and is so satisfying too, because it's all the journey up into an eventual combination of everything you just watched and the learning. Like you're learning as you go along as an audience because she's learning, and it's just so well done.
Yeah, and she's learning, and you're not like, it's not like, oh, guess what's gonna happen? Like they don't overly.
Yeah, it's not spoon fed.
Yeah, it's not spoon fed to you. They like, hey guys, you're stupid. So look at her. She's in the mud, the quicksand. Guess what? That means that she's going to trap the predator in it later on. But it's like, dude, I really liked the Predator's weaponry in this. Like I said earlier, like they kind of depowered him a little bit because it's like 300 years in the but he's got the stabs, and he's got when she picks up the sword thing and is kicking ass with it, and it's just, man, I really like when her brother Tabi like fights him, and is just like, he kind of does a lot of the legwork, right? He like fucks the predator up pretty good. He's like, stabbing him and chopping him and hitting him with arrows. Although like I had to say, the one I think the dumbest thing Naru does in this whole movie is thinking that shooting that giant grizzly bear with an arrow was a good idea. I'm like, bitch, you better shoot him in the brain if you're gonna do that because those like you can drop like 9 mm like weapons like bullets that were like not taking a bear out like if you don't get it exactly in the right spot, right? And like that was the silliest thing she did, but it worked out because that's when the predator, kind of shows up and starts like like that's when she sees the predator for the first time, and the predator going "Rrrr," and
With
like
the
just being
bear,
yeah, and
that
covering
was
itself in
nuts.
blood. Yeah, it's a really cool reveal, right? Like it's
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 gruesome,
yeah
and also like that's I don't know, like as bad as the bear looked, just running as like a bear. Those
yeah
scenes where it was like close up and slow mo and like down, and then when it was being like drained of all its blood on top of
yeah
the alien, it looked fucking cool, right? So I don't know. Not all of it was executed as well as we would have hoped, but
yeah
not in the parts where it mattered. Where,
yeah
if that makes sense, because like
yeah
all the like throwaway parts, because we know how a bear looks in real life, how it
yeah
should, we've seen it done right,
yeah.
and this was not done right. So
Yeah. I have to assume it was a budget thing. Like they just didn't have the budget to like spend like send like another team of 20 guys making this bear look realistic, right? Like
well,
because that is a
Disney,
lot of
it's they don't,
they were
yeah,
like
they overuse all of their resources too much, and there's like going to be a fucking mass like walkout probably on the
yeah.
next
Yeah,
movie.
you hear the stories about people working on Marvel shit and they're like, fuck this noise. And
Yeah.
they'll still get stuff done, but like, yeah, they've had some shots over the last few years that are just like, really, Marvel, you're doing this on a two that the shot of Bruce Banner in that Hulkbuster suit is still one of the worst. I'm like, did you guys do this? How did you put out this looking like that? It's like it does that in Infinity the Infinity War,
Yeah,
right?
I
It's
know.
like
Yeah.
that and that Black Widow scene where she gets blown up in the top of the aircraft carrier was another one. You're like, it wasn't as bad as the Bruce Banner and the Hulkbuster, but yeah.
Can
Yeah, but this was
you can you like I just stumbled upon this again. And I saw this coming out, but like because we talk about horror, did you see the first Orphan movie, that Orphan one? Because there's a sequel coming out, Orphan First Kill. So are they making her? She's now older, but they're doing a prequel where she's playing younger. Because the
yeah.
first one she was
I've
young,
not
and then the reveal was that she was actually old.
She was had some disease. Yeah, I haven't seen it. I know about it, and I'm like, that girl's got to be nearly 40, and they're gonna have her playing a younger little kid. Like even though like before, like I don't know. I don't know. I hope it's good though. I haven't seen. I'll probably try to check out the original at some
I
point
liked
here.
the
But
original because Vera
yeah,
Farmiga is always good in like pretty much anything. I think, is she underrated? I don't think Vera Farmiga is underrated, but she's always good.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. What else, man? Like I have to say that the French being like the kind of like the secondary bad guys in this movie made me laugh, like because they were like they were just French. They were dude. That scene though, where they find the buffaloes, and like
Yeah,
it took me a minute to put two and two together. I'm like, oh, these motherfuckers need to all die. They killed a bunch of buffaloes just to skin them, and they just leave the carcasses rotting
yeah.
out there,
It was
which
a
is why
mess.
buffalo almost went extinct in this country. We have buffaloes like in my area, which is kind of cool. But buffalo is good,
There's
man.
so
If you've
many
never,
buffalo jumps around me
where they would jump off of like cliffs and shit.
where you would force them. Yeah,
Yeah.
so many.
Uh, it's raining buffalo.
I filmed
How
actually my last short film. The scenes all outside and like that where she's like running down the hill and stuff. That's right on a hill where there's a buffalo jump.
That's the one where the guy kept capturing the chick and then locking
Yeah.
her up in the dog cage. Yeah, that was, dude. That was, I think that was like right when we first met. You sent that to me. And I was like, this is fucking awesome. This is fucking awesome. Shit, man. That was like 2 years ago. Two
Yeah, it
years
was.
plus ago.
No, it was 3 years ago now. It was 2019, man.
Oh no, that was 2020. That's 2020.
No, it was
I think.
2019, dude.
I don't know, man. I don't know where the
Because
fuck I am and what.
because they didn't do the horror con shit in 2020.
I know, but you showed it to me in 2020. The
Oh,
whole
right.
year one from 2019. That's what I meant. Yeah. Um, man, I was so happy with this because, dude, like I said, the Predator, I had such high hope for the Predator with Shane Black, and that talk about bad CG, and we just gave the animals that whole weird Predator thing at the third. That was another film though. We talk about it. They came in and they reshot the whole third act,
It was fucking
and
dumb.
yeah, and I there was so little to like about that film. There was so little to like it. I think that film would be my least favorite Predator movie if Alien versus Requiem was visible, like you could see the film.
Ugh, that
Um,
was
but
so bad, dude.
yeah, and it's just like it's such a cool character, man. I like Predator 2 a lot. It's not a great film. Like Danny Glover is great in it and like all that stuff, and it's cool seeing the Predator doing his stuff. But it has this like weird, like hokey, futuristic look in it, especially now when you go back and it's supposed to be like 1997 or whatever. So it's like, oh, and it just I really hope that Disney goes, okay, we're gonna keep doing cool stuff because like, dude, I would love to see like a high quality Alien versus Predator movie, where they let someone do like Danny Trachtenberg do something like this, like, but they need to get back. Alien needs to get back on track. Also, Alien needs a reboot, just like
So
fucking
where do
Predator
you
did.
sit on? Because like I know more people that hate Prometheus than like it.
Oh, I hate
Where do you sit on
Prometheus.
it?
I
What?
hate Prometheus.
I
Prometheus
like
is
it,
one of
man. I fucking like it.
Prometheus is one of my so I did a with I think it was Dead in Santa Carla did a ranking of Alien Predator movies together. I think Prometheus was my second to last film in that whole discussion.
No
After,
way. I think I
dude,
like all the parts that are very unsatisfying to people, which like
dude,
I go
I,
against the grain with that type of stuff sometimes. Sometimes.
I Prometheus is what this is. Alien's my favorite movie of all time. Alien is my favorite, and you take that universe and you just connecting it to everything with the dumbest motherfucking characters of all time. The characters in that film
They're
are
so
so
Let's go
incredible.
have a shower.
No, no. Let's go pet the space snake that we don't know anything
I
about.
know,
Let's
but like
there's a giant spaceship rolling at me. I'm gonna run in the same
same
direction as
direction.
the giant spaceship that's running at
But
me.
those are all
Like,
just like
no,
small parts.
that stuff is what you have one good character in that whole movie. I guess David's pretty cool too, but like, Emily Shaw is like the only good character in that whole film besides David. And they go and take her and they shit directly into her mouth in the fucking Covenant. They're like, hey, you remember that good part of that last movie? Shit directly in your mouth, right in there, greasy Taco Bell diarrhea shit directly into her mouth and fucking. Now that that movie, I don't know why it makes me as angry as it does, but it makes me angry.
This is how okay, so if you don't know this, Rod live streams. And if you because he doesn't this is it right here. What he was every time I've ever watched you live stream, that's how you are almost the entire time. What the fuck?
I mean, it is.
Losing
I'm a very animated motherfucker, is what it is, and it's like, yeah. I mean, that's like it's entertainment, man. I'm entertaining the motherfuckers, or trying to, that was my goal of this shit.
Oh fuck.
So yeah, no, I hate Prometheus. We could talk about it someday. I don't think I've watched Prometheus in a while. I think I rewatched it before Covenant came out. And
So that's what I love about this having this podcast as well, because it is about horror, but it gives me an opportunity because like when we do that double feature again with The
Yeah,
Shining and Doctor Sleep,
yeah,
I'm excited to dive back in now, seeing Flanagan's like other properties
yeah,
and respecting his work on such a higher level now than before. I'd only seen like maybe one of his other movies, I think, before I saw Doctor Sleep, and I was like, and like I remember like liking three-quarters of it so much and seeing it for what it was, and then seeing a studio jump in and go, "Weaponize this fucking third act," and I felt it. I saw it, and it annoyed the shit out of me, so I hope in rewatching it, I just see it for what it is,
yeah.
and because, like, it's on so many people's lists for just like, "Whoa."
Jerry loves that movie. Yeah, it's like I've heard people that's like their favorite horror movie. It's funny though. I said before, like I think I've only seen it once also. So going back to it, I was joking around. I was like, this isn't even a horror movie. It's like a road adventure movie for most of the movie until like that third end is when it like turns into like super. It has like horror elements to it, right?
Yeah.
But like it's really like a thriller kind of like running away from people kind of thing. And it's like, yeah, you're right though. They admitted they were fucking with the end of that movie. Have you seen Oculus yet? Oculus is your type of movie,
No,
dude.
yeah, I totally haven't seen it yet.
That ending is metal as fuck. It's right up your alley. You dude, that movie you would enjoy the shit out of.
Let's put it on the list.
Well, we can, man. We could put Oculus on this for sure. Is there anything else you want to talk about? Prey, dude. This fucking movie is awesome. I fucking loved it.
I'm now obsessed with Amber Mid Thunder. She's like my new crush.
Dude, she's gorgeous. I don't know what else is like I said, she was in Roswell. I don't know. I've never heard of any of these other things she's done. Like, yeah. But yeah, she's really good in this, man. And
She's so badass and
she was in that Legion show, which I never saw. The X-Men show.
oh right.
About I think it's Xavier's son or someone's son who has like a billion different like personalities in his head. And which is funny because they just did Moon Knight, which is like the same kind of like concept with the three personalities and whatnot. So um
Oh, Roy.
dude, his English accent is so bad in that movie, and it was supposed to be, but yeah. Oh man.
You could
Dude, I love
totally
it.
see in this episode at the 50-minute mark, 55-minute mark, it was just like ADD.
Oh dude, it comes back and like sometimes like you go ADHD and I stay and try to stay there, and vice versa happens at times. And sometimes one of us goes ADHD and pulls the other one along for the ride, and it's like, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
whatever.
that ADHD
Whatever.
thing. I mean, but we love film, and so like when you sit there and you talk about a movie like this that gets us excited about film and gets us excited about like this really cool dude. Predator is a movie I would love to talk about at some point, but it's like it's so mainstream, and like maybe we do talk about it sometime. But I love the fuck out of that movie. Like my whole childhood and like my what
That
grew me
was like
into
quintessential 80s though. Like,
yeah.
like
Oh, dude, Arnold was my fucking like as a kid. I was obsessed with Arnold, like all of his movies that
who
like I saw. Like,
wasn't?
yeah, and so like that is like so like I go back and like Predator and Total Recall and Commando and like all and Terminator 2 and all this stuff that like made me into the person I am when it comes to cinema. And to see this come back and goes, yes, yes, yes. Just love it and like respect it and make something cool and new and like that pays homage, but like is his own thing. And that's what Prey is. It loves the original and it loves the source material and it goes, we're gonna do this loving thing, but we're gonna do something that is different. And then we're gonna make it this fucking kick-ass female warrior who goes out and just
Super kick ass.
outsmarts yeah, outsmarts a predator and fucking survives and kicks ass because of it. And you know what? And like I said it before, I'm gonna reiterate now. If you don't think that this fucking woman could do this, you're sexist as fuck. One, 2, never listen to this podcast again because you fucking suck. There's two things. Yeah, yes. As Josh is looking off the camera, if you're listening to the audio version, fuck you, because your head is so far up your own ass. You're a fucking madman, mad woman, mad
Whoa,
person.
he's going
Fuck
off.
you. Because it pisses me off. You missed the point of Predator.
This
You
is
missed
so. It's
the
just.
point.
It's so good. Anyone that I don't know. It's this. It's just it's all it's round, and it does the thing that you want in a movie. It
Yeah.
comes full circle. It gives a good character arc. It gives stakes. You know that you're up against something that is really fierce and insane. It shows just how powerful this thing is. And the only thing that is going to beat it is to outsmart it, not to be bigger than it, because you're never going to be bigger than it. You have to be smarter than it. And you also have to be smarter as an audience member, I guess, to enjoy it, or else get your dick out of your hand.
You gotta get your sexist like incel. I think incel is the word. I think whatever.
I don't
that
know a
the
single person that doesn't like this, so I haven't had the same experience as you hearing it from some sexist people. So
yeah, on Twitter, it was Twitter people complaining, and I'm just like, most of it wasn't even. I don't follow any of these people, and I'm not gonna follow them because you could fuck yourself. But just people pointing out these idiots, right? Like it was mostly people talking about loving this movie over the weekend and having and shut up. Yeah, that's what I said. Shut up, you fucking stupid motherfucker. Stupid. Okay, Josh. I think that's all.
Okay.
I've spent my load. Unless there's
Okay.
anything else you want to say before we get out of here with this.
I want to say, love your face.
Josh. I love your face. I don't know what we're gonna do next week. Sounds like we're gonna get Katie Peters back in 2 weeks, and we're gonna do The Fly because she's never seen it. It's been years since I've seen it. She loves practical effects. That movie.
So
is
99 is going to be The Fly.
Yeah. We need to figure out over the next couple of weeks what we're gonna do for 100.
Yeah, it's got to be something good.
The thoughts I've had are Alien, Let the Right One In, and I don't know. Those are my kind of like current thoughts. Let the Right One In has a special place in my heart because it's one of those first like non like Asian country cinema like horror films like that
is
drew
done
me
so well.
Yeah. So those are my thoughts.
Yeah, I'd be totally down. That was what I think I told you, the first movie I ever saw at Calgary Underground Film Festival ever. At a movie theater that doesn't even exist anymore in Calgary. Like that's like that movie holds so much nostalgia and like just respect for me. Just I was blown away, but those things have now are a main thing in my life. So
yeah, I'm gonna reach out to Continue. Maybe we can do the double feature thing because we've been talking about it for so long. And
next
then
week,
we have like
that'd be sweet.
Yeah, so okay, Josh, you beautiful motherfucker. Murdermoose.com, where all our episodes and information is. We have our YouTube, which you have to go in and type Murder Moose. But
just go to murdermoose.com.
Yep,
the links are there. Everything. You want to see my posters? JoshWRB.com. Follow Rod on Twitch because he streams and I do not. He streams all the time and he's fucking funny and he loses his mind, and then his chat makes him lose his mind on top of losing his mind, and it's just a vicious circle of fucking entertainment. Go and watch it.
That's all. My birthday's coming up, and that my chat has been trying to arrange me to start an OnlyFans. So like,
so if your Twitch is an OnlyFans, come on.
I mean, if there's Rod Butthole out on the internet in the near future, you'll know why, because this is just warning everyone now about it. So, okay, yes, and I'm Rod_Johnson on Twitter, and Josh is Josh WRB on Twitter. We love you, motherfuckers, and if I'll tweet out like when I get whatever. If it's not those two movies, then we'll do something else. I think that vampire movie's coming out, right?
Oh, right, the Netflix one. Yeah, Jamie Foxx.
Yeah. And Snoop Dogg. So maybe that will be the backup. So, okay, guys, We love you. Thank you for listening. And if you think that the prey chick can't win, you're a fucking moron. Go fuck yourself. And goodbye.
Bye.